Mississippi is going to take down the old state flag and replace it with something non-polarizing and hopefully unifying. And it may happen this week, but if it doesn't happen this week, it will happen eventually. At some point in the future, it's not a matter of if the old flag will be retired, it's only a matter of when. Why is there an issue with the state flag of Mississippi? It's because of this. The Confederate battle flag emblem that sits in the top left corner of the flag, the space referred to on any flag as the canton. This Confederate imagery stands for racism, hate. It stood for protecting slavery 155 years ago, and more recently was adopted as the effective logo of the Ku Klux Klan. And citizens in Mississippi want it removed permanently. And thankfully, now, many legislators are working to get that done. A quick history lesson is in order, though. This emblem is not the stars and bars, yet so many people refer to it as that. The actual stars and bars flag was the first official national flag of the Confederacy during the first 3 years of the Civil War, 1861 through 1863. And that design started out with a few stars in the canton and eventually ended up with 13 representing the states of the Confederacy. The stars and bars was this flag, the first national flag of the Confederacy. And currently, the state flag of Georgia bears a close resemblance to the original stars and bars. It even includes imagery in the canton of the original Georgia state flag from the years during the Civil War when it was a Confederate state. Georgia's flag was adopted in 2003. Now, the emblem you see on Mississippi's flag is a Confederate battle emblem. It was never a national Confederate flag. It was strictly designed by and for the Confederate Army in battle. At an early Civil War battle in 1861, Confederate General P.G.T. Beauregard couldn't tell his troops from Union troops easily enough. All the uniforms looked similar. There was even a moment when Confederate reinforcements were showing up to help Beauregard, but initially he thought they were the enemy. They figured it out just before firing on them. After the battle, Beauregard designed the battle flag for his army, the Army of Northern Virginia, to carry in battle, display on their uniforms so they'd know who was who when the bullets were flying. Soldiers actually called this the Beauregard battle flag. Back to the stars and bars. It was out in 1863 as the official Confederate flag, and this one was in. The stainless banner flag, as it was referred to, became the official Confederate national flag during the final years of the Civil War. The man who designed this, William Tappan Thompson of Savannah, Georgia, was the editor of the Savannah Morning News. Here's what he said about his own design, the stainless banner. As a people, we are fighting to maintain the heaven-ordained supremacy of the white man over the inferior or colored race. A white flag would thus be emblematic of our cause. Zero ambiguity as to the purpose behind the design of the stainless banner. The Confederate Army had won a major battle at Manassas, but Stonewall Jackson was then shot and eventually died, right about the time this flag went up the Southern Pole. The first official use of the stainless banner was it was draped over the casket of Stonewall Jackson. Pretty soon, all the Confederates began complaining that on the battlefield, if the wind wasn't blowing, the flag looked like surrender because of all the white. They put a red stripe on it in 1865, called it the blood-stained banner, but hardly anyone ever saw it or used it because the war ended. Now, why is it so important to know these historical details precisely? Well, accuracy in anything is important. And I think details matter, especially regarding what our symbols and logos stand for today during our lifetime. That emblem on the current flag stands for one thing, the Civil War. The Southern cause in the Civil War was to uphold slavery, to continue it for the benefit of the wealthy and the powerful, cotton plantations. It was a war about race. That is a symbol about race. It stood for then and stands now as a symbol for white supremacy. So make no mistake, this debate over the current state flag of Mississippi is also about race. It is a black and white issue. It can't unify all citizens in Mississippi. It was never meant to unify the citizens of Mississippi. When legislators in 1894, 30 years after the Civil War, submitted this flag to the governor, a former Confederate commander. It was a move to reestablish a few of the same ideals they fought for in the South, and was absolutely meant to fly as a symbol hearkening back to the days of the Old South. This cannot be debated. It is a fact. In 2020, the flag must come down. It must be retired. To those legislators working to get it done, for the good people in Mississippi, and thank you for your work. As a believer myself, I understand it to be Christ-like to put others first. It says so in Philippians chapter 2, verses 3 and 4. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of the others. To a young athlete like Kylan Hill taking a stand, hats off to you. Respect for you standing up and speaking, realizing this is important. It is good for us to all be reminded every now and then that some things are more important than just football. And to those men and women who have neglected their responsibilities as elected leaders, have shrunk back into the bushes and effectively hiding, taking no stand either side, how is it we are supposed to respect you? To those dug in on upholding Confederate imagery in the state of Mississippi, I would encourage you to spend some time today talking to your black neighbors. Look them in the eyes and tell them you sincerely don't care about them because of the color of their skin. Would you hand a copy of the current state flag to a black citizen and demand they fly it on their flagpole at their home? Would anyone advocating for the current state flag of Mississippi expect Kylan Hill to proudly run out of the tunnel, leading his team onto the field, holding that flag with the Confederate battle emblem? Surely not. We are to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. Jesus said, "A new commandment I give to you, love one another. Even as I have loved you, have love one to another. By this shall all men know that you are my disciples, if you love one another." Symbols of division are going to be replaced by symbols that promote unity. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, and I hope it's sooner than later.